Yes, boss. Tell me, this is our Tomcat server, guys. High level architecture, Java based server, Java based web server, guys. Okay. Everyone, save the backup videos, boss. Done. Now, at the bottom of the server, what will be there? JRE. JRE, JVM. Basically, JRE will be there. Understanding my statement? Okay. Newcomers, at the end, I will speak something for you people. Please collect the backup videos as of today. All right, boss. Now tell me, guys, at the top, we'll be having middleware services. At the top, we'll be having middleware services. Yeah. What do you mean by middleware services? You know, they are additional services, Rabab. They are additional services to make our application more perfect and accurate. What kind of services? Security. Security makes our application more secure one or not? Security adds security to application. It allows only authenticated people to access the content, right? Next, guys. Logging. Logging keeps track of application flow. Auditing keeps track of activities of the end user. Auditing keeps track of activities of end user and others. Now listen, these are technically called middleware services. Middleware services. Middleware services. Middleware services. Now tell me, what do you mean by middleware services? The additional, optional, and configurable services that can be applied on the deployed application, deployed web application to make them more perfect and accurate are called middleware services. Understanding my statement, guys? Come on. The additional, optional, and configurable services that can be applied on the deployed web applications to make the web applications as more perfect and accurate are called middleware services. Middleware services. Got it, guys? Okay, guys. Middleware services are not minimum logics of application development. Okay, they are additional and optional logics of application development. They are what? Additional and optional logics of application development. So these logics are also called as these logics are also called as secondary logics. Right? Secondary logics of the yeah. Now listen, guys. Okay, you are joining in a software company. Company is giving proper salary, proper work. There is a scope of growth. So your primary needs are completed now, boss. Company is not having proper canteen. Company is not providing what is that? Proper transportation. Then what you will say? Hey, they are secondary. If they are there, fine. If they are not there, no problem. I'll manage. Right? Okay. So they are not minimum logics to minimum requirements to think about joining in the company. They are the secondary thing. If they are there, fine and good. If they are not there, fine, no problem. I'll manage. But for girls, it is different, right? For girls, it is different. Along with the salary, they will think about timings. They will think about canteen is there or not there. They will think about transportation is there or not there. Come on, guys. So primary means minimum things, Rabbabu. Must and should be there. Secondary means optional things. If they're fine, if not there, also manage. If they're fine, if they are not there, also manage. Are you comfortable, guys? Got the clarity, my dear? The middleware services are not minimum logics of application development. They are additional and optional logics of application development. These logics are also called as secondary logics of the application. Okay, yes. Now listen. Okay, guys. Now listen. The business logic, persistence logics are called primary logics of the application. Primary logics of the application. Okay. The middleware services applied on the application are called secondary logics of the application. Are called secondary logics of the application. Okay, guys. Examples of middleware services. Okay, guys. Persistence logic, JDBC code, Rabab. JDBC code, JDBC code. Yeah. The people who joined in this batch from JDBC also should share their receipt. Should share your receipt. Should share your payment receipt. Okay, this batch admin name is Subramaniam. Okay. Examples of middleware services. Security. Security. Tell me, guys. Okay. Protects the. Achha, your name is Subham. Sorry. Yeah. Admin name is Subham. Admin name is Subham. Security. Protects the application. Protects the application from unauthorized, unauthenticated, and unauthorized users. Unauthorized users. Got it, guys? Next one. Right, boss. Mr. Admin, can you share your details to students? Your phone number to students? Okay, guys. Tell me next one. Security. Logging. keeps track of user activities. Auditing keeps track of user activities. Understanding my statement? Okay. And etc. Many are there, boss. Without these services, application runs smoothly. When these are added, our application becomes more perfect and accurate or not. More perfect and accurate or not. Come on. To conduct the class, to conduct the online class, what are the minimum logics, boss? To conduct the online class, what are the minimum logics? Zoom software, internet, faculty, students. Faculty, student, laptop. These are the minimum things to conduct the online class. These are primary logics. Listen, boss. I have enabled chat box option. Understanding my statement? Is it minimum? Is it not minimum? It's a definitely additional one, right? I have enabled video so that you can see my facial expression, my emotions, right? You can feel more and more live, more and more interactive. I have given beautiful background. Aisa no na? Okay. Mic your side is secondary. From my side is primary, right, boss? So these are what? These are not minimum logics to conduct the classes. They are additional logics to conduct the classes, right? But if they are there, I can conduct class more effectively, more interactively. My Alexa is also secondary logic. My Alexa is primary logic or secondary logic. Whatever Alexa support I am using, that comes under primary or secondary logics. Secondary logic. Without that also class can be conducted, right, boss? Okay. Did you see other faculties switching on their video while conducting class? What do you like? Me conducting class by switching on video or me conducting class without switching on video? You want with video? Okay, fine. So I think you got idea what are the middleware services, guys? Okay. Someone saying that it consumes network bandwidth. Okay. Someone saying that it consumes network bandwidth. Your Netflix movie watching does not consume. Huh? Okay. Or your YouTube or Facebook or Instagram reels does not consume memory. Yeah? Mighty fellow. Okay. Consumes bandwidth. Super. Right, boss. Okay. All web application. Web application. No, they are saying consume. They have other priorities in life rather attending class, right? Web application one deployment. Deployed. Okay. Deployed, guys. Okay, web application. Parvat Kumar, I think your brain works a bit slow, it seems. Okay. I said my video or I talked about your video? Okay. Parvat Kumar thinking that others' videos also. No, I didn't talk about a students' videos, right? I talked about my video. That's why I said somewhere your logical braining is thinking is missing. Okay. Right, boss. Right. Tell me here, what is this? Servlet component. Servlet component. Yeah. Here component. Here is again servlet component. Here is my HTML file. Here is my image file. Image file. Are not compulsory. Every application should be like this. Okay, more components can be there. Here is one more servlet component. Yes, here one more servlet component. Got it, guys? Super. Now tell me. Here is my servlet container. Here is my JSP container. Actually, you don't believe. JSP container internally uses servlet container. JSP container internally uses servlet container. There is a relation. There is a relation. Okay. Right, boss. Now, tell me here, what is this? Servlet container. Here is my JSP container. Now, listen. Whenever I give request to servlet component, okay, guys. Whenever I give request to servlet component, it will move to servlet container for execution or not? It will definitely move to servlet container for execution or not. Whenever I give request to JSP component, it will move to JSP container for execution or not? Come on. Super, guys. Yeah, it will move to servlet component. It will move to servlet container for execution. Yes, guys. Hey, here JSP components also moves above. Yeah, this is the arrow, guys. Basically, like this. Then here is my buttons. Super. Hey, not only that, this application servlet components also comes. Okay. Yeah, .jsp file is JSP component. .java file is servlet component is always class above. Class means .java .class will be there. .java .class will be there. .servlet will not be there. Don't create new theories. .servlet files are not there, my dear. Super. Your JSP component also comes like this. Understanding my statement, boss? Super. Now listen. There is a one more terminology called web container. There is a one more terminology called web container. Don't think much, my dear. Servlet container plus JSP container together is called web container. Servlet container plus web container together is called this one. Okay. Someone is asking me why servlet component 3 times. Arey, my dear, in one website, in one web application, only one web page will be there. No, no. Lots of web pages. To generate lots of web pages, lots of web components are required. Hey, SP Yadav, why are you thinking like that? Website contains one web page or lots of web pages. Lots of web pages. So to generate these lots of dynamic web pages, lots of dynamic web components are required or not. That's why lots of servlet component, lots of JSP components. Yes or no? To generate static web pages, we need lots of HTML files because website contains only one static web page or lots of static web pages. SP Yadav, when I have given answer for your question, keep the habit of responding in the chat box. Okay. Right. Now listen, web container is equal to servlet container plus JSP container. It's a combination of both, guys. Officially not there. For our understanding, we call both containers together as a web container. Understanding my statement, guys? Okay. Gopi, did I ever said this statement? Servlet container is nothing but servlet. JSP container is nothing but servlet container. You are assuming or you are assuming wrong thing. I said JSP container internally uses servlet container. This is my statement now. Then why are you thinking in a wrong way, boss? Focus. Don't lay on the bed and listen the class. Sit and listen the class. Then every statement looks normal. Okay. JSP container internally uses servlet container because every JSP component will be translated into servlet component Okay, before execution. Okay, I'll ask one simple question. Who is responsible to execute servlet components? Who is responsible to execute servlet? Who is responsible to execute servlet components? Servlet container, right? Okay, every be translated into servlet. Every JSP program will be translated into servlet. What do you say, guys? Super. So JSP container also internally needs the support of servlet container while executing JSP or not, while translating and executing JSP or not. See this statement clearly. JSP container internally uses servlet container because every JSP component will be translated into servlet component before the execution. Understood? So this is the meaning of that. So JSP container uses servlet container. Okay, guys. Now listen. If browser gives request to HTML file or component, then its code goes to browser for execution. Its code goes to browser from web application for execution because HTML interpreter is available in the browser to execute the HTML code. Are you with me, guys? If browser gives a request to JavaScript to comment, understanding my statement? JavaScript to comment or file, then its code goes to browser from web application for execution because JavaScript engine is available. JavaScript engine is available in the browser to execute the JavaScript. Okay. Now tell me guys, HTML JSP components are called client-side web components or not? HTML files, JavaScript files are called, tell me guys. Okay, client-side web components. Client-side web component. Now listen. If the browser gives request to servlet component, then it goes to, come on guys, then it goes to servlet container of web server itself, for execution. Then it goes to servlet container of web server itself for execution. Are you understanding my statement? Because servlet container, because the servlet container manages the whole life cycle of servlet component by using JRE JVM support internal. Yes, na? By using JRE JVM support internal. Okay. Because ultimately servlet is Java code, Bob. Java code means directly or indirectly, JVM should be there to execute the code. JVM must be there to execute the code. That is being proven now, boss. Super. If the browser gives request to JSP component, then it goes to JSP container plus servlet container. Why? Every JSP will be translated into servlet internally. Once it is translated to servlet, servlet container also comes into picture or not of web server itself for execution, because the servlet container manages what guys? Because the servlet JSP container plus servlet container. JSP container plus servlet container manages the whole life cycle of JSP component. Okay, JSP component. Understanding my statement? First it goes to JSP container. JSP container internally uses servlet container. Why? No JSP program executes as it is. JSP program is executing means internally it will be translated into servlet. Internally it will be translated into servlet. Understanding? By using JRE JVM support. You know that servlet JSP components are called server-side web components. Are you understanding my statement? Okay. No. JSP container only translates JSP into servlet program. Okay. JVM won't do that. JVM work is executing the code, right, boss? Super, boss. Now tell me here. Responsibilities of Java-based web server. Responsibilities of Java-based web server. Responsibilities of Java-based web server. Is that clear, guys? Okay, can I give one by one? Listens to client requests continuously. Listens to client requests continuously. Understanding my statement? Listens to client requests continuously by having Okay. Daemon process. Task manager is running continuously. Why? Task manager runs in operating system as a daemon process. The task manager runs in operating system as a daemon process, or task manager runs in operating system as a daemon process or not. Come on. Listens to client requests continuously by having daemon process. What process? Daemon process. The process that runs continuously until we stop explicitly is called a daemon process. Windows Task Manager is the example for daemon process, right? Or in Java, we have a garbage collector thread as a daemon thread. Thread-wise, garbage collector is daemon thread. Process-wise, task manager, Windows Task Manager is daemon process. Understanding my statement, guys? Okay. Sir, where does web server is located? We install in one or other computer, Babu. It's a software. We install it. We install in one or other computer, my dear. Okay. Okay. The that runs continuously for a long time is called daemon process. Daemon process. No, it's not compulsory 24/7, Babu. Dhananjay Kumar, any software to download to JSP, sir. If it is there, I will tell na, boss. Dhananjay, why don't you be in the classroom, Babu? Why are you traveling here and there? If any software is required, I will tell na. Huh? If anything is required, I will tell na. That too, right now we are learning what? Servlet, followed by servlet, then JSP. Guys, while attending my classes, common sense and presence of mind is very important. I won't listen statements. I don't follow order. I will use my brain here and there. Randomly, I will think means not going to work out. Right now, are we learning Servlet or JSP? Servlet. Then JSP. Right? This guy is asking, any software to install for JSP, sir? Item person. Continuously for a long time is called daemon process. Is called daemon process. Many times I requested, I asked one you people, use a chat box to ask current topic related discussions. Number one. Number two, hold your doubt 5 to 10 minutes and hand over the request to tell me, guys. Simply hand over the request to whom? Hand over the request to web container. Web container. Understanding my statement, guys? Nothing but servlet container plus JSP container. Okay. Super, guys. And next, provides the middleware services. Sir, web component means the component which generates the web page. Servlet program is one web component. HTML file is one web component. Guys, what's happening, boss? If you miss the class, at least keep the habit of watching the backup videos. How many days back we discussed? Web application is collection of web components having capability to generate web pages. There are two types of web component. Static web component generate static web pages. Dynamic web component generate dynamic web pages. Did we discuss these points or not? A reusable program or file Our class is called component. We have not discussed all these points. Very much initial days we discussed it, right? Every day, fresh day, na? I think we spend a lot of time in the second day, it seems, all this stuff. Static web page. What is static web page? The web page whose contents remain same for all requests, static web page. Dynamic web page. The web page whose content will change request to request or based on time of request generation or input values of the request is called as what? Dynamic web page. Discussed or not? These terminologies are most important. If you miss the class, at least watch the videos. Missing class is not a crime. Not watching the backup videos is the crime. Because these are base for developing website. These terminologies should be there in your brain. Every day, fresh day means not going to work out. Tell me, in your entire lifetime, did you learn alphabets or you move forward also? Only in LKG, UKG, you learned alphabets, right? Later, you move forward towards sentences, words, phrases, paragraphs, right? Deployed web applications. Make them more perfect and accurate. To make them more perfect and accurate. Super, guys. Okay, just now we talked about middleware services, right? Provides the web container, nothing but servlet container plus JSP container. Servlet container plus JS, it's a servlets container and JSP container. Next one. Okay, gives built-in JRE JVM. Built-in JRE JVM or configures okay, configures the current active JDK supplied JRE JVM. Okay. Gives built-in JRE JVM to web server or configures the current active JDK supplied. Current active JDK supplied JRE JVM to. Understanding my statement? Web server. In your computer, you might be installing JDK. That JDK contains JRE JVM. Either gives that JRE JVM to web server or tell me, guys, it will come with its own JDK. It will come with its own JRE JVM. It will come with its own JRE JVM. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Clear, guys? Got the point? Responsibilities of Java-based web server. Responsibilities of Java-based web server. Gives built-in JRE JVM. Okay. Next. Collects the results or outputs of the web components through web container and sends those sends those outputs to browser software as responses and sends those outputs to browser software as responses. I hope you got it, guys. So these are the various responsibilities we are having, and etc. Next one. Responsibilities of web container. Responsibilities of web container. I always remember one thing, Rabab. Always remember one thing. Web server takes the request, gives the response. Okay. Now listen. Mapping that request to web component, executing web component, gathering output, everything, generating output, everything is done by whom, guys? Web container. In a simple way, you can remember like this. Okay. Web server is like waiter. Browser is like customer in the restaurant. Web server is like waiter who takes the order from customer, right? And web container is like chef. Web container and web components are like what? Chef or cook who prepares the food. Customer gives request to whom? Customer gives order to whom? Waiter. Waiter passes that order to whom? Chef. Chef prepares the food and gives back to waiter. Waiter delivers to customer. Customer is like browser, right? Customer is like browser. Understanding my statement? Okay. Gopi. First you have to accept the statement. During installation, it will pick up automatically. Clear? Problem with you are not accepting the statements. First start accepting. When I use one statement, accept it. Otherwise, I should treat you as that one as an attitude problem. Because during installation, it will pick up automatically, right? During installation of one software, can't it pick up other things that are there in the computer? Okay. You install Eclipse in your computer. It is internal browser. This is browser. Customer. This is web server, guys. Waiter. Yeah. This is web container. Web container. Here we have web components. Chef and his items. His recipe items, Babu, food related items like rice, noodles, and other things. Okay, it is like a chef. Okay, guys. Now tell me. Browser gives request to web server. Web server gives request to web container. Web server gives request to web container. These are the web components. Nothing but food items. These are web components, nothing but food items, right? Okay. This request will be mapped to these guys. Okay. From there, response comes, my dear. That response goes to whom, guys? Web server, guys. Understanding my statement? And from there, it goes to customer. I think now understanding becomes easy, boss. Yeah, here is my request. Here is my response. Here is my request. Here is my response. Convinced, my dear, got it? Okay. Taking order, delivering order is responsibility of waiter. Processing order, keeping, generating food, keeping food ready is the responsibility of the web content. Right? Is the responsibility of the web content. So this outside works will be done by web server. All internal works will be done by web container. Right, boss? So that means web server takes the support of web container internal. Web server internally uses web container support. Super, guys. Now tell me. First work, guys. Based on the URLs of the request. Based on the URLs of the request, the web container maps the request to appropriate web components of the web application. Appropriate web components of the web application. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Super. Next. Yeah, because every request will have a URL now, boss. Okay. Next, guys. Makes the code of HTML files and JavaScript files going to browser, nothing but client for execution. Going to browser, nothing but client for execution. Makes the, are you understanding my statement? Makes the servlet components and JSP components, not makes, guys, manages the life cycle of servlet components and JSP components. That means executes them to process the request and to generate the result. Results are outputs. To process the request and to generate the results. Understanding my statement, guys? Okay. Next, guys. Manages the life cycle of servlet components and JSP component. That means executes them to process the request and to generate the results or outputs. To generate the results or outputs, guys. Okay. Next one, guys. Okay. Provides the environment required for the intercommunication between web components. Alright, understanding my statement. Provides the environment required for the intercommunication between web components, like servlet to servlet communication, servlet to JSP communication, and vice versa. Vice versa means reverse also. Vice versa. Vice versa means reverse also. Provides the environment required for the intercommunication between web components. Intercommunication between web components. Clear, guys? Got the clarity, boss? Come on. Next. If intercommunication is not there, leave it. If there, then this comes into picture. Use its own garbage collector to destroy the various objects related to web components. Okay. As part of lifecycle management. Yeah, this is very important. Please focus. Servlet container manages servlet lifecycle na. In that one, what it will do? Loads the class, creates the object, manages the object, uses the object. If needed, destroys the object. To destroy the object, garbage collector is required or not? Sir, it can use JVM garbage collector na. Sorry, web container will not use JVM's garbage collector. Why, sir? JVM garbage collector says, I will destroy the object when no references are there, right? But I will destroy the object when no references are there pointing to object. Yes, na, boss? But servlet container, JSP container should destroy the object at the end of the life cycle, even though there are references pointing to the object. That means servlet container is not going to use, JSP container is not going to use JVM's garbage collector. JVM garbage collector only in standalone application. In web application, web container comes with its own separate garbage collector where it can destroy the objects at the end of the life cycle, even though references are pointing to those objects. Even though references are pointing to those objects. Understanding my statement? This is very, very important point, Babu. Whether objects are free or referenced or not referenced, does not matter. At the end of the life cycle, every object has to be destroyed, and this garbage collector take the responsibility of destruction. Got it? Web container does not use JVM's garbage collector. JVM's garbage collector because does not use JVM's garbage collector, brother. Tell me what is there? Because JVM's garbage collector can destroy the objects only when they are unreferenced. Only when they are unreferenced. I think you know what is the meaning of unreferenced? Unreferenced, right? Whereas the web container has to destroy the objects. The web container has to destroy the objects. Has to destroy the objects. Whereas the web container has to destroy the objects, has to destroy the objects of web components at the end of their life cycle. Of their life cycle. Their life cycle. Irrespective of, what is that? Irrespective of whether they are referenced or not. Irrespective of whether they are referenced or not. So, this is very important. So many people don't know. Even 10 years experienced people also don't know. Because they study garbage collector in core Java, they think that garbage collector only working everywhere. No, 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 no. So web container uses its own separate garbage collector. Its own separate garbage collector. So web container uses its own separate garbage collector. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Super. Next, to apply or configure. Middleware services. Middleware services on the deployed web application. Okay. On the deployed web application. Provides middleware services. Yeah, here what I do, provides middleware services. Server provides Rabab. How to apply on the web application will be taken care by whom? Are you understanding my statement? Sir, without object, how to work web container? Array, Dhananjay Kumar, are you there in your mind or you are thinking out of mind? Web container is a software program, right? It destroys servlet objects. Now tell me. It destroys servlet object. It destroys JSP outputs given by servlet components, JSP components, and Alexa stop, and gives those outputs to web server, gives those outputs to web server to send to browsers as responses. Clear? To send to browser as responses. Right. And these are the various other responsibilities. I hope you understood my statement, guys. Note. Okay. I already have given web container makes the code of HTML file, JavaScript file going to browser for execution. What do you say, guys? And etc. Tell me, web container uses web server or web server uses web container? Web server internally uses web container, right, boss? Web server internally uses web container. Web container. Yes, boss. So earlier we thought that everything is done by web server, but some of the responsibilities of web server are actually performed by web container. Right, boss? So when we meet in tomorrow's class, we are going to install Tomcat server and we are going to keep Tomcat server ready in our computer. So that means we'll be ready with web server and web container so that we can focus on first web application development. If possible, GoPG web container will not execute HTML JavaScript file. It sends code to browser. What is the new thing you found, GoPG? You are irritating me like anything, Ra Babu. If you attend other days class, HTML JavaScripts are called what? Client-side web components, right? So their code goes to browser for what? Execution. Yes, na?